Last week, in one of the first actions of its kind, activists released the name of an Israeli soldier involved in the killing of a Palestinian protester. Mustafa Tamimi, a 28-year-old demonstrator from the village of Nabi Saleh, was killed when a soldier shot a tear gas canister at his face in December last year. Last week, activists released the names of Aviram Boniel, the soldier they claim pulled the trigger, and Lieutenant Colonel Shai Ben Yishai, his direct commander, saying in order to prevent the villagers and their supporters from exercising their fundamental right to demonstrate and march to their lands, soldiers regularly use disproportionate force against the unarmed protesters. According to the regulation of the Israeli army's occupation of the West Bank, all Palestinian demonstrations are deemed illegal. Abir Kopti of the Popular Struggle Coordination Committee frequently attends protests in Nabi Saleh, the village where Mustafa Tamimi was killed. The Real News spoke with her at her home in Ramallah.
The issue is not one soldier here and there. The issue is a system, is an occupation system. I don't want only to have a soldier held accountable. I want his commander to be held accountable. I want the Israeli government to be held accountable. I want the whole Israeli and military regime and occupation to be held accountable. It's not enough to have a soldier, and even this, the minimum that they can do to hold someone accountable for killing a person, an unarmed protester, they are not doing it.
The Israeli army gave the following response regarding the investigation into Mustafa Tamimi's death. The investigation by the military police is still underway. Upon completing the investigation, conclusions will be submitted to the Military Advocate General for review. Emily Schaefer is a lawyer with Yesh Din, an Israeli organization that works on legal issues regarding the occupation. She helped co-write a recent report on Israeli army investigations, which concluded that the chances of a criminal offense carried out by an IDF soldier against a Palestinian successfully navigating the obstacle course of the complaint process and finally resulting in an indictment are almost nil.
Over the last decade, 3.5% of all complaints filed by Palestinians against soldiers to the IDF's MPCID resulted in indictments against soldiers. Of all the complaints that were filed, 38% never even reached a criminal investigation. And of those who did reach a criminal investigation, only 6% reached indictments.
The Real News spoke to Avital Leibovich, the Israeli army's spokeswoman.
The claim of the activists is that the internal Israeli army investigation is going nowhere, and so they're forced to release the name of the soldiers, hoping for other forms of justice.
Well, you know what? I haven't seen Palestinian terrorists go to court. Every day we find ourselves in numerous amount of riots, such as last night happened in the Hebron area, and I don't see them going to any part or any sort of legal process. In the last 7 years, there were over 20 Palestinians killed by Israeli soldiers in the popular struggle rallies in the different villages. We did not hear any time that a soldier was held accountable for such action, for killing a Palestinian, and they keep going on, and investigations keep go on and on and on. I don't know until when, maybe forever. And I think there is a message sent here. It is not only the lack of willing, it's also a message sent to the Israeli soldiers that it's fine to kill a Palestinian, it's okay to kill a Palestinian, because nothing will happen to you.
That it is 100% in Israel's interest to improve its investigation of soldiers. Why? Because the lack of either willingness or ability to effectively investigate war crimes opens Israeli soldiers and commanders up to criminal proceedings in other countries and in the International Criminal Court.
A year after Mustafa's death, another Palestinian man was killed in the same village, also during a nonviolent protest. The incident took place last month, while West Bank-wide demonstrations were protesting Israel's assault on the Gaza Strip.
In the West Bank, it was a wide protest and many clashes erupted with the soldiers. There was almost every day, like at least 10 locations where there were clashes or protests by Palestinians. Everyone had the sense of a third intifada. And we were collecting information, documenting them, and sending out to the media, but almost there was no or few attention given to the situation in the West Bank. And therefore the army felt they have the green line to do whatever they want. 2 people were shot and killed. The live ammunition was used widely in different locations.
Last Wednesday, a 16-year-old Palestinian boy was killed at a checkpoint in Hebron, sparking citywide demonstrations. The female soldier who killed him claimed he was holding a toy gun she mistook for a real one, an allegation Palestinian witnesses deny. Weekly demonstrations continue throughout the West Bank, including in the village of Nabi Saleh.